Okay, so I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna make this video about addressing the Arian, speaking of the heretic Arius, the one heretic that, for example, the J witnesses accept. Okay. Now I saw this post on a Hebrew Roots message board. A Hebrew Roots Messianic congregation thread. You know what? Let me just go to it. Let me go to that thread and see if I can find it. It was addressing that heresy, the one about denying the divinity, denying the deity of Messiah. Let me see. Oh no, well, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Look, you have to understand, those of you that are in Messianic circles, those of you that are in Hebrew Roots, those of you that might even be in Messianic Judaism, okay? There is a very big difference between Messianic Judaism and those that are in Hebrew Roots and those that are in Nazarim, okay? The big problem is, for example, those people that are actually genetically, ethnically, culturally, religiously Jews that have come to accept Messiah. Many are still clinging on to a lot of Babylonian traditions. Okay, a lot of traditions that were not correct, that were of the times when the people fell away or were led astray. For example, if you guys have been to, yeah, I'm always digressing. I got to focus on the main point. Okay, the main point, that Arian heresy or the Arius heresy of denying the deity and denying the whatever. Okay, you have to understand that culturally, historically, for example, the Hasmonean dynasty of Babylon, okay, they came in and they were Hasmonean aristocrats that started to usurp and murder and lie their way into the priesthood. Okay, so they brought with them their Babylonian religion of Baal. Okay, so they are Babylonian false converts, and they are worshippers of the Baalim, the different Baals of Babylon and of the heathens, of the pagans. Okay. Not only that, but these Hasmonean aristocrats were of mingled seed Nephilim bloodlines. Okay, that is another reason why Mashiach called them the seed or the sons of the enemy. Okay, now the whole thing of that whole denying Mashiach's deity and divinity is an ancient heresy. Okay, do not fall into modern Judaism that would teach you, if you're unstable, if you don't know history, if you don't know the history of the religion itself, you'll be led astray if you're unstable. Okay. Those of you in the Messianic thing, even Messianic Judaism, those of you in Hebrew Roots, those of you in the Nazarim, you have to be stable in your foundational knowledge of history and theology and practices, and not just the history of the Yahudim and the Nazarim, but also the things that are of the nations. Okay. Now, for example, if you were to speak to somebody in the time of Noah, let's say Noah, if you were to talk to somebody in the time of, let's say, King David, they would know right away that the Mashiach would be one that would be of equal essence to the of part of the Elohim. Okay. For example, let's go history 101, and let's go like to the understanding of the thought process of the people of the lineage of Adam, of Noah, and on and forward into the generations. Okay, let's go to the Hebraic understanding. This is what I've told a lot of Israelis and a lot of Yahudim. Okay, so if there's a father and he's an owner of a tribe, owner of a flock, and owner of everything, the father is the highest authority. Okay, and his firstborn son is going to inherit everything of the father. Okay, so for example, the father, let's say let's say he's sick. The father's sick. He's out of commission. Okay, the firstborn son receives a signet ring, receives the staff of the father, and the son becomes the full authority over the entire tribe and camp and animals and servants and so on and so forth. Okay, so while the father is still alive and he's sick, he's just out of commission, the son is the same, equal, everything. Okay, so whatever the son says, it's in full authority, as if the father himself. So okay, so let's say the father dies and all the inheritance goes to the son. Okay, so the father dies, the inheritance goes to the son, and the son is now in charge of everything. It's as if the father and the son were almost like the same person. Okay, that is the Hebraic biblical tradition of the father and son. Okay, so when it comes to Yahuwah and Yahusha, it's the same thing. Okay, they are the ones that instituted this tradition through the lines of Adam and Noah and King Daud and forward onto the generations. Okay, so for example, those of you in the Messianic group that are falling into this denial of the deity, of the divinity of Mashiach, you're falling into these Babylonian false converts and their hatred of Mashiach. Okay, they have the spirit of the enemy inside. Okay, the enemy that will deny the Mashiach, and for example, that is another reason why the Messiah himself called them, that they do just as their father, the enemy, does. And this person in this thread, he's quoting Yehuchanan, the beloved, the disciple, and he's saying, did Yehuchanan? Well, this guy's saying John, but whatever. I don't like to use those stupid names. Did Yehuchanan actually mean this and this and that? Well, this person in this thread doesn't understand a lot of things. Okay, he's falling into this false spirit. Okay, maybe this person, whoever you are, you've come out of the harlots, you've come out of the beast, you've come out of all these circuses, and now you have this spirit of, I need to search for truth. Well, that's great. That's great that you've come out, you've crossed over out of the circus, and you've come into certain things, but now you're falling into the hands of the Hasatan. You're falling into erroneous teachings, for example, of Arianism, denial of the divinity and the Echad. Okay, Yehuchanan, the beloved disciple, he taught that the Father and the Son are Echad. Okay, there's another word that's been very obscured throughout the generations, and the word is Eloheku. Okay, Eloheku is like similar like Elohim. Okay, let's say, I'll just say this principle: three chords woven together. Okay, So, I'm sorry, I was meaning to say that Yehuchanan mentioned in the verse that those that are the anti-Mashiach, they would deny the Son's divinity, okay? So you, sir, who are in this Messianic group, don't fall into that Arian heresy, okay, of denial of the Mashiach's divinity, okay? Remember, the Mashiach, there's many scriptural proofs, okay? Like, for example, the one that I mentioned in the thread, I wrote it down, and I'm going to mention it again in this video. The way to mention to the, for example, the J witnesses, okay, in the Tanakh, the Father calls himself all the time the Aleph Tav, the beginning, the end, the beginning, the end. He constantly says that, okay? In the Brit Hadashah, Mashiach mentions that he himself is the Aleph Tav. So if the Father and the Son both consider themselves the Aleph Tav, then heed the testimony of the Father and the Son, who both say that they are both the Aleph Tav. Okay, they're one and the same. They're Echad. Okay. Again, in Revelations, he's saying, you know, the one. It sounds like the Father's talking. He's saying, you know, I am the Aleph Tav, blah blah blah. I'm the Aleph Tav, and then suddenly he says, I'm the one who died and came back to life. That's something the J witnesses can't answer you. They write it off as some sort of mistranslation, but there's no mistranslation. The Son and the Father are echad, and they're both saying the same thing about themselves. Okay, for example, in the Messianic prophecies, Mashiach is called the everlasting Father. Okay, there's just so many different scriptural evidences and ontological and all kinds of evidences for you in this Messianic group to be falling into this Arianism heresy. You know, keep searching, keep growing, you know, but try to use the scriptures to burn away all these bad heretical things and try to figure out where it is that you're getting these ideas from, okay? Because the sad part is that many people in the Hebrew roots Messianic thing, they start falling too far into Judaism, the modern Judaism, you know, whether it be Reformed or Orthodox or whatever. Let me tell you something, that Judaism has been infected with false teachings, okay? It has been infected with false teachings from the, you know, the Babylonians and the, you know, all kinds of other heathen nations that started to mingle themselves into the Hebrews. So just keep searching and don't quote something as a matter of fact with this little meme. You know, search and study, be a Berean and be honorable and study. Shalom.